Welcome to Sotantra education. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the selection statements in Java. The instructions of the programs that we have discussed earlier got executed sequentially. Suppose, for example, in a program we have 10 instructions like instruction 1, instruction 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Generally, the instructions got executed sequentially. That means first instruction 1 is going to execute, then instruction 2, then instruction 3, then instruction 4, then instruction 5, like this. At the end, instruction 10 is going to be executed. However, in many programming situations, we want one set of instructions to get executed in one situation and an entirely different set of instructions in another situation. Suppose you can consider here, suppose in one situation we want to execute instruction 7 and 8, and in another situation we want to execute instruction 9 and 10. So in this case we need the help of selection statements. So we need selection statements in the situations when we want one set of instructions to get executed in one situation and an entirely different set in another situation. So we have different types of selection statements. The first is one-way if statement, the second is two-way if-else statement, then nested if statement, multi-way if-else statement, then switch statements, then conditional expressions. So first we will discuss about the one-way if statement. So the one-way if statement executes an action if and only if the condition is true. And first we will see the syntax of the one-way if statement. So the syntax is like this: if Boolean expression so here these statements are going to be executed when this Boolean expression results true. So when this Boolean expression results true, the statements are going to be executed. So if we want to draw the flow chart for this, then the flow chart is like this. Boolean expression, then if the Boolean expression returns true, then the statements are going to be executed, a single statement or multiple statements. And if the Boolean expression returns false or results false, these statements are not going to be executed and the control comes here. So you can see this is the flow chart of one-way if statement. If the Boolean expression results true or evaluates to true, these statements are going to be executed, otherwise these statements are not going to be executed. So we have discussed one simple program previously, how to find the area of a circle if the radius is given or if the radius is input through the keyboard. Area equal to math.py multiplication radius multiplication radius. Then we can write in the next line system dot out dot println area. So simply we are printing the value. Okay. So in real life scenario, we can find the area of a circle when the radius is greater than equal to 0. Otherwise, for negative radius, we cannot find the area. So for that we can write here, if radius greater than equal to 0. So if radius greater than equal to 0, compute this value. Otherwise, when the radius value or when this Boolean expression radius greater than equal to 0 becomes false, do not execute these two statements. Do not execute these two statements. So when this radius greater than equal to 0, execute this statement, execute this statement. So we will see some more programs based on or using one way if statement. Here you can see one program. Write a program that reads a number from the user and prints high 5 if the number is divisible by 5. Also prints high 7 if the number is divisible by 7. So you can see this is the program. So first we are using this statement import java.util.scanner to use the scanner class, then class test, then public static void main, then scanner IP equal to new scanner system.in for taking input from the user, then system.out.print enter a number, then int num ip.nextInt, so it receives a number from the user and stores that number in the variable num. So num stores the integer value received from the user. Now we are checking whether num is divisible by 5 or not. So if num modular division 5 equal to 0, then print high 5. Then if num modular division 7 equal to 0, print high 7. So this statement system.out.println high 5 is going to be executed when this if num modular division 5 equal to 0, when this Boolean expression returns true. Similarly, this statement system.out.println high 7 is going to be executed when this Boolean expression num modular division 7 equal to 0 becomes true. Otherwise, this statement is not going to be executed when this num modular division 7 equal to 0 becomes false. Then we will see one more program that uses one way if statement. So here you can see the program. Write a program that reads body temperature of a patient and prints the patient is suffering from fever if the input temperature is greater than 99 degree Fahrenheit. So you can see the complete program here. So similar to the previous one, we are using import java.util.scanner to take input from the user using scanner class, then class test, then public static void main, then scanner IP new scanner system.in, then system.out.print enter the temperature in Fahrenheit. So it is going to display this thing, enter the temperature in Fahrenheit. Then the user enters the temperature value and that value is going to be stored in temp, in variable temp. Now if temp greater than 99, print the patient is suffering from fever. Now if the value of temp greater than 99, that means when this temp greater than 99 results true, this statement is going to be displayed. The patient is suffering from fever on the screen. And if this value temp greater than 99 results false, this statement system.out.println the patient is suffering from fever is not going to be executed. So now we will move to two-way if statement. So in one-way if statement, if the condition is true, the associated statements are going to be executed. Or we can say a one-way if statement takes an action if the specified condition is true. If the condition is false, nothing is done. But what if we want to take alternate actions when the condition is false? So at that time we can use two-way if statement. And what is the syntax for two-way if statement? So the syntax is like this. So if Boolean expression, or you can write if condition, then we can write a single statement or multiple statements for this true case, or you can write these statements for true case, then else we can write statements for false case. So this is the syntax of two-way if statement. So if this Boolean expression results true, then these statements for true case are going to be executed. And if this Boolean expression results false, the statements for false case that are written in the else part are going to be executed. The flowchart for the two-way if statement is like this. So we have Boolean expression, we have this Boolean expression, and if this Boolean expression results false, then we can execute the statements for false case, and here if it results true, then we can execute the statements for true case. So you can see this is the flow chart for the two-way if statement. So if this Boolean expression results true, then the statements for true case are going to be executed. If this Boolean expression results false, the statements for false case is going to be executed. So we can modify the previous program that we have written, or to compute the area of the circle from a given radius like this. We can write this program: if radius greater than 0, then we can write area equal to math.pie into radius then we can write system dot out dot println area. So this is the true case. So if radius greater than it is equal to, if radius greater than equal to 0, then we can compute the area and display the area. Else means when this condition if radius greater than equal to 0 becomes false. So at that time we can display invalid input or negative input. System dot out dot println, we can write here negative input. So this is one simple example of two-way if statement. So here first we check the condition radius greater than equal to 0 or not. So if radius is greater than equal to 0, that means when this condition or the Boolean expression results true, these statements are going to be executed. When this radius greater than equal to becomes false, at that time the else part or this system.out.println negative input is going to be executed. We will see some more examples that use two-way if statement, or we can say that use if else. So write a program that reads a number and verifies whether the entered number is even or odd. So we have written like this: import java.utils.scanner to use scanner class for taking input from a user. Then class test defines the name of the class. Then public static void main defines the main method. Then scanner IP equal to new scanner system.in. Here IP is an object that is used to take input from the user. Then system.out.print enter a number. So it is going to display enter a number on the screen. Then the user is going to enter a number, or the user is going to input a number, and int num equal to ip.nextInt. So this line receives the number from the user and stores that in variable num. Now if num modular division 2 equal to 0, if num modular division 2 equal to 0, that means if this Boolean expression results true, then this is going to be executed. System.out.println, you have entered an even number, and that means it displays you have entered an even number on the screen. Now else means when this Boolean expression results false, that means num modular division equal to 0 results false. This else part is going to be executed, and the associated statement system.out.println, you have entered an odd number is going to be executed, and it displays you have entered an odd number on the screen. So it is a simple program that uses two-way if statement, or we can say that uses if else statement. So we will see one more program by using this if else. And the program is like this: write a program that reads two numbers as input and determines the maximum number. So here you can see the complete program. System.out.print enter two numbers, it is going to display enter two numbers on the screen. Then int n1 equal to ip.nextInt, int n2 equal to ip.nextInt. So these two lines receives two integer values from the user, n1 and n2. Then we are declaring another integer variable max. Then if n1 greater than n2, max equal to n1, else max equal to n2. So here you can see if n1 greater than n2, when this becomes true, the value of max is n1, else the value of max is n2. Else means when this n1 greater than n2 results false. So when this value results false, the else part is going to be executed and max equal to n2, or we can say the value of n2 is assigned to max. Then at the end, system.out.println maximum number is max. So at the end we are printing the value of max. So here you can observe we have not given curly braces for the statements associated with the true case and also the statements associated with the false case, because here only one statement is there. So here max equal to n1, we have only one statement that is associated with the true case. Similarly, we have one statement max equal to n2 associated with the false case. So here if we have one statement, only a single statement, then the curly braces is optional, and if you have multiple statements associated with the true case or the false case, then at that time you need to write these statements using the curly braces. So if you have one statement, then the curly braces is optional. So you can either give the curly braces or you can omit it. So we have discussed the syntax of if else is like this. So if the Boolean expression then we have some statements for true case, then else, in the else part we can write statements for false case. So here you can see in the statements for true case we can write any legal Java statement. Similarly, here also in the else part we can write any legal Java statement for the false case. So we will see one example. If I greater than k, so here we need to write the statements for the true case. So here we can write any legal Java statement, here we can write any legal Java statement here, and if else is also a legal Java statement, or we can say one way if, two way if, both are legal Java statement. So here we can write one way if or a two way if. Suppose for example we write one way if like this: if j greater than k, then system dot out dot println I and j are greater than k. If I greater than k, if j greater than k, this statement will execute. So we can write I and j are greater than k. So here you can see if I greater than k, then if this becomes true, this part is going to be executed. So when I greater than k becomes true, this part will execute. So this part means first will execute if j greater than k. So when this becomes true, this statement is going to be executed. So the system.out.println I and j greater than k, this statement is going to execute when I greater than k becomes true and j greater than k becomes true. Okay, so here we can also write in the else part, else system dot out dot println I is less than or equal to k, we can write here. So here you can see this if j greater than k is written inside this if I greater than k. So we can see this is the inner if and this is the outer if, or we can write here this is inner if and this is outer if. So here we can say this inner if statement is nested inside the outer if statement. The inner if statement is nested inside outer if statement, or we can say if j greater than k statement is nested inside if I greater than k statement. So this type of structure is called as nested if statements. So when we write one if inside another if, that is called as nested if statement. So the nested if statement can be used to implement multiple alternatives. So we will see some examples of this nested if statement. So here you can see the program. Write a program that computes the ticket price of a visitor by taking entry time and age. The ticket price is 20 if the entry time is before 12, otherwise it is 30. The ticket price is 10 for senior citizens and children if the entry time is before 12. So here you can observe from the question, if the entry time is less than 12, then for senior citizen and children and senior citizen, the ticket price is 10, otherwise for others, or we can say for adults, this price is 20. And else part means if the time greater than 12, the price is 30 for all. So price is 30 for all, so including senior citizen and adult. So we have written this thing using the program here. So here you can see this import Java util scanner, class text, public static void main, scanner IP. These lines we have already discussed. Now system.out.print enter visitors age and entry time. So first it is taking the age, then time. Now int price, we are creating a variable price of type int. Now if time less than 12, then we are writing if age less than 12 or age greater than 30. So if this becomes true, if age less than 12 means child or age greater than 60 means senior citizen, then price is 10, else the price is 20, like here we have written. Then else price is 30. This else is for this if, means time greater than equal to 12. So it is a simple program. You can see that use nested if. So here this if age less than 12 or age greater than 60 is written, this if is written inside this if. or you can say this if else part is written inside this if. So it is one example of nested if. So previously we have discussed that in the if part we can write any legal Java statement. Similarly in the else part also we can write any legal Java statement. Suppose for example you can see here if boolean expression. So insert I am writing exp. So here we can write statements for true case, and in the else part we can write statements for false case. Okay. Now we have discussed that in the statements for true case we can write any legal Java statements including another if else. Similarly here also statements for false case we can write any legal Java statement including if else or one way if. So if we write here in the else part another if else. So let me remove this statement. Here we can write if some boolean expression 2 you can write, then statement 1 else statement 2. So here we can write in the else part, in this part we can write another if else. So we have written one if and else. So now we will see one program that uses this type of structure. So here you can see the program. Write a program that reads a number and identifies the given number as positive, negative or 0. So here you can see the program is like this. Int n equal to ip dot next int, that means the user inputs a number and that number is stored in the variable n. Now if n greater than 0, system.out.println the number is positive. Then else means, and in the else part we have written another if else, and if n less than 0, system.out.println the number is negative, else you have entered a 0. So this if else part is written in the else. We can write this else here, else if. So if, then else if, then else. So the same thing. So just remove this else from here and write the else just before if. So this type of structure is called as if else if ladder or if else if chaining. If else if ladder, or we can say if else if chaining, and we can go up to any level, if else if else if else if, and at the end we can write else, or we can omit this else part because else part is optional. So we will see some examples that uses if else if ladder or if else if chaining. So now we will see one more example using if else if chaining or if else if ladder. So The example is write a program that takes a person's age as input and classifies them into categories like infant, child, teenager, adult, senior citizen based on certain age range. So the program is like this, you can see here. So Java import java.util.scanner to take input from the user using scanner class. Then class test defines the class. Then public static void main string args, so it defines the main method. Then scanner IP equal to new scanner system.in. So IP is an object to take input from the user. Then system.out.print enter the age, so it is going to display enter the age on the screen. Then int age equal to ip.next int. So this line accepts the integer input from the user and stores that in variable age. Now if age less than 2, so if the value of age is less than 2, it is going to execute this statement, that means print infant. Then if this condition becomes false, then control comes here, or we can say else if age less than 13 is going to be executed. And if this becomes true, then the system.out.println child is going to be executed and child is displayed. Now if this condition becomes false, the control comes here. Then we need to check else if age less than 13. So if it is true, then system.out.println teenager is going to be executed. Similarly, if this age less than 19 becomes false, this else if age less than 61 is going to be executed, and if that becomes true, system.out.println adult is going to be executed and printed adult, else system.out.print senior citizen. So here you can see, suppose consider by taking a value, assume it is 25. So suppose the user entered 25. So now the value of age is 25, or we can say age equal to 25 here. Okay. So here you can see, if age less than 2, that means 25 less than 2, is it true? So it is false. Then control comes here. Else if age less than 13, so control comes here. If age less than 13, so it is true. 25 less than 13, so it is false. Then the control comes here. Else if age less than 19, so 25 less than 19, so it is also false. Then control comes here. Else if age less than 61, so 25 less than 61, yes, it is true. So it is true. So this system.out.println adult is going to be executed and adult is displayed on the screen. We will take one more example of age 12. So here you can see age less than 2, so 12 less than 2, it is false. Then control comes here. Else if age less than 13, so 12 less than 13, yes, it is true. Then system.out.println child is going to be executed, so it displays child on the screen. Else if age less than 13 becomes true, this statement is going to be executed, and this else part are not going to be executed, because we know that if true, then else part is not going to be executed, so the control comes here. Now assume that the user entered 10, so this means the value of age equal to 10. Now if age less than 2, if this results true, then the associated statement is going to be executed. So check here. So the value of age is 10, 10 less than 2, is it true? No. Then the control comes here. Else if age less than 13, So 10 less than 13, is it true? Yes, it is true. So it is true. That means the associated statements system.out.println child is going to be executed, and it displays child on the screen, So here you can see the control comes to this part, else if age less than 13, that means the first if is false. So when this if age less than 2 becomes false, the value of age is greater than equal to 2. That's why this age less than 2 is false, and control comes here. So in this statement else if age less than 13, so here it is not required to write in this way, else if age greater than equal to 2 and age less than 13. So it is not required to write in this way, because the control is here, means the control is here, else if age less than 13, that means the first if is false, and when this is false means age is already greater than equal to 2. So no need to write this statement here. So you can remove this statement from here and only write age less than 13. So that is sufficient. So if you write this instruction, it is redundant. Similarly, you can see, so assume this is false, So this if age less than 13, this is false, means the value of age greater than equal to 13. So no need to write here, else if age greater than equal to 13 and age less than 19. So it is not required. So it is not required to write here that age greater than equal to 13 and age less than 19. So no need to write this part. Only age less than 19 is sufficient. So we'll see one more example of this multi-way if else statement. So that is, write a program that reads a number for the day and displays Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday if day is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accordingly. So here you can see the program, int num ip.nextInt. So we are storing or receiving the value of the number as num. If num equal to 0, print Sunday. Else if num equal to 1, print Monday. Else if num equal to 2, print Tuesday. Else if num equal to 3, print Wednesday. Else if num equal to 4, print Thursday. Else if num equal to 5, print Friday. Else if num equal to 6, print Saturday. Else print invalid input. So depending on the values of num, one of the statement is going to be executed. So here we have written a number of else if statements, or here we are checking conditions. Here we are checking multiple conditions using a number of else if statements. So excess use of else if statement makes the program difficult to read, or we can say overuse of else if statements make the program difficult to read. So we have another option to deal with this multiple conditions, and that is switch case. So using switch case we can write this program. So we can say switch case is an alternative to this if else if chaining or if else if ladder. Then what will be the syntax of switch case statement? So now we will discuss the syntax of switch case statement or the template of switch case statement. So here you can see in switch case we need to write one expression within parenthesis after switch, then curly braces case value 1 column, then some statement or statements, then break. Similarly after that we can write case value 2 column, then some statement or statements, then break. Similarly we can write case value 3 column, then some statement or statements, then break. Similarly we can write multiple case values, then we can write default column statement or statements. Okay, so here you can see this expression should return a data type of either int or character or short or byte or string or enum data type. So this expression can be of int, character, short, byte, string, enum data type, and this value 1, value 2, value 3 or value 4 up to value n are the literals, or we can say are the constant values, and the data type of these constant values should match with the expression. And another thing is these value 1, value 2, value 3, value 4, so these are unique values or distinct values, or that means the duplicate values are not allowed in case. And the next thing is that this break and the default is optional. So if you want you can write this break, and if similarly if you want you can write this default statement. How this switch case works? So this expression is compared with the values, case values sequentially. So if the value 1 matches with the expression, then the statements corresponding to this case value is going to be executed. If this value 2 is going to match with expression, then the corresponding statements is going to be executed. So if value 3 going to match with expression, then the corresponding case statements is going to be executed. And if none of these case values going to match with this expression, then the default one is going to be executed. So let us see one program that use switch case statements. Now we will discuss this program and see how the switch case works. So the first line, import java util.scanner. So we have written this one to import the scanner class for taking input from the user. Then class test defines the class. Public static void main defines the main method. Then scanner IP equal to new scanner system.in creates a scanner object. for taking input from the user. Then system.out.print enter a number between 0 to 6. So it is going to display enter a number between 0 to 6 on the screen. Then int num equal to ip.nextInt. The integer value received from the user is stored in variable num. Then suppose or assume that user entered 1. That means num equal to 1, or we can write here num equal to 1. That means user entered 1. Then switch num means this value 1 here, case 0. So now we will try to match this num value with the case value. So num is 1, your case value is 0. Is there any match? So no match. Then we will proceed to the next case value. So here case value is 1, num is also 1. So is there any match? Yes, there is a match. So when there is a match, the associated case statements are going to be executed until it finds a break or until it reaches the end of switch case. Here it executes system.out.println Monday. Then it prints Monday on the screen. So it is going to print Monday on the screen. Then break. So here break is there, the control comes out of the switch case. Now suppose the user entered 6. Suppose the user entered 6. The value of num is 6. Now proceed following the same principle. So switch num. So here num value is 6. Then the first case value is 0. So num is checked with case value 0. Is there any match? No match. Then proceed to the next case value. It is 1 and here num is 6. So is there any match? No match. Then proceed to the next case value. Next case value is 2. Here it is 6. Is there any match? No match. So similarly, when it reaches 6, so case value is 6 and this num is also 6. So there is a match. So it is going to execute the associated case statement until it finds a break or until it reaches the end of switch case. So it prints or it executes system.out.println Saturday and it prints Saturday on the screen. Now no break is there, so it is going to execute this statement also and it is going to print invalid input. So that's why in every case statement we have written break, so that the control comes out of the switch case after it executes the associated case statement. So if we want to print in this case for input 6, if we want to print only Saturday, then we need to write a break here. So we need to write a break here before default. Okay, so I hope it is clear to everyone, and the case values are checked sequentially with the num until it finds a match, and if no match is found, the default one is going to be executed. So we will see another program that uses switch case. So write a program that simulates a traffic light system where the user inputs a color and based on the color the program displays the action. The program displays the action, for example stop, get ready, go, using switch case, and we know that the color red indicates stop, the color yellow indicates get ready and the color green indicates go. So now we will see the program. So import java.util.scanner. So these are the same up to come here. System.out.print input a color red, yellow or green. Suppose the user entered red here. Suppose the user entered red. Then string color equal to ip.next. That means the color is stored in the variable color here. Now switch color. So here the value of color is red, and we have also discussed that this expression is allowed to hold one string value also. So here color value is red, then the first case value red. So is there any match? Yes, match. Then the corresponding statements or the associated statements with that case value are going to be executed until it finds a break or until it reaches the end of the switch case. So system.out.println stop. So it is going to display stop on the screen, then break. Break means the control comes out of the loop. Now assume the user has entered green color. Suppose the user has entered green. So here after this statement input a color, the user entered green color. User entered the color value as green. Then switch color. So this color value is green. Then case red. So the case value here is red. Is there any match? No match. Then the color value and this case value yellow and this is green. So is there any match? No match. Then color and green. So color value is green. This is also green. The case value, is it matching? Yes, it is matching. Then the associated case statement are going to be executed until it finds a break or until it reaches the end of the switch case. So here you can see it is going to execute the system.out.println go. So it prints go on the screen, then break. Break means the control comes out of the loop. And if the user entered any other color except red, yellow and green, the default one is going to be executed and it is going to show invalid input.